Okay, so I'm pretty new to making videos here on PlayStation 4, so hopefully this works out well, but I just wanted to show my Skyrim character. It is an Arcane archer. I'm in love with picking up everything all the time. The build basically looks like this. I'm level 24 at the moment. I use a priority system basically for leveling. So I started with Conjuration. That's my primary skill. I'm playing on legendary difficulty, and Conjurations and guys that have been charmed with illusion spells, they help keep your damage up because they're not affected by the difficulty slider. So I have Novice, Conjuration, Apprentice, and Adept. Now that's enough for me to cast Frost Atronach and my Bound Bow. I have Mystic Binding to increase the damage of Bound Bow, and I have Soul Stealer to fill up Soul Gems. Now I don't usually take Soul Stealer because you can go to the College of Winterhold and buy a bunch of filled gems and sell with the Merchant perk. You can sell enchanted items back to them to get your money back. And you can usually, if you have a good enchantment that's worth a lot, like Turn Undead, Damage Stamina, Banish, Paralyze, Absorb Health, those are the main ones. If you have those, then you can usually, and you bring enough daggers, you can usually level your enchanting to 100 right there. But I'm doing kind of like organic leveling this time around, which means that I'm not like power leveling anything. I'm just kind of, doing the quests and leveling as I go, playing the game basically as it's intended. My my second skill is Alteration. I have Novice, Apprentice, and then perks in Magic Resistance because I'm going to want to max out Magic Resistance. I'm playing a Briton, which starts with 25% Magic Resistance. 2 perks in the Magic Resistance line will get me up to 45%. The Book of Love quest gets another 15% for 60%, and then I take the Lord Stone for another 25%. So I get 85% magic resistance that way. So the first 2 perks I take are Conjuration and Alteration, and then Sneak is the next most important, so I try to perk that up. Perks there. I haven't gotten Deadly Aim yet. That's probably going to be the next thing I do for the extra bow damage when in Sneak. And then from there, it's Archery. I've only taken the damage perks now. I don't really need Eagle Eye. Power Shot, I would take Eagle Eye so that I can move up to Power Shot. Power Shot's pretty good, but I mostly am one-shotting things, so it's debatable how useful Power Shot is. And you can use archery potions and stuff too to get your archery damage up even more if you need to, so it's kind of like a luxury. Plus I'm planning on being a vampire, and if you take the Necromage perk with vampire, then stuff like Power Shot's increased, and I want to take Power Shot later on when I get the bonus from Necromage. So let's see what's next. Light Armor. I usually get 3 points in Agile Defender. You can get less, but I'm trying to play a no-death playthrough, so doing that for extra survivability. And then, of course, I took I think you saw it, but custom fit. And then I usually would make Speech number 6 on my priority list, but I prioritized it lower this time around. Instead, going to Smithing. I haven't taken the perks. My perks aren't caught up to where I am level-wise, so I actually can't really do much with it, so maybe I shouldn't have taken the Steel Smithing there. But I'll be taking Elven and Scaled soon. I'm currently in some Scaled armor right now. Let's see, and then I've gotten nothing in Enchanting. Yeah, I usually do that close to last. Alchemy, I have 2 perks in there, which is useful for making marksmanship potions and doing paralysis poisons. I also use it to make money at certain stages in the game. I haven't done that so far in this playthrough. And then I do Speech to get the Merchant perk. and right now I just have the plus prices. I've put in some points in the magicka. Most has gone into health. Mostly the magicka has been as needed. I'm starting to put points in the magicka now because right now for a stone I'm using the Atronax stone, which gives plus 50 magicka, but you regen magicka slower. The regen magicka is not like the penalty there is not a big problem considering you usually only have to cast a couple spells per fight. But I'm going to be transitioning to Lordstone in just a few minutes, so I've started putting points in the magicka to make up for the 50 that I'm going to lose there. So let's see, what else should I talk about here for the basic build. So for gear, right now I'm using bound bow for a weapon. I had stolen, you can steal an elven bow really early on from Whiterun in Ayla's room at the Companions. That's a good place for a quick upgrade. For gear, I'm using Amulet of Zenithar and Blackguard's Hood for better prices. To get the Blackguard's Hood, you have to do the beginning part of the Thieves Guild quest line, get the Thieves Armor, and then you go to Solstheim, and if you have the Dragonborn add-on, you can go to Solstheim and speak to Glover Mallory, and he used to be part of the Thieves Guild, and he'll give you a quest to get a bone mold formula. You go to a place far in the north. It's pretty dangerous, but if you know your way around, it's not that hard. But you can go into a cave and get the formula, bring it back to him, and he gives you a key to his house, and it has all kinds of really great goodies, including a set of Blackguard's gear, which upgraded Thieves Guild stuff, including the Blackguard's Hood, which gives 25% better prices. So I get 35% better prices total, and then with my 1 in haggling, it's 45% better prices. It's pretty significant. I'm also using Blackguard's boots for a better pickpocket success. That's not really that helpful right now. It's just the best thing that I have. Gauntlets of the Old Gods for plus bow damage. You can get that in Markarth by doing the Forsworn Conspiracy and the No One Escapes Sidna Mine quests. It's good to do those relatively early in the game because they can be pretty buggy, and you don't want to like find out after doing a bunch of other quests that your game is bugged and you can't complete those quests if you're interested like me in doing all or most of the quests. So but that's good to have. I was lucky and found a Ring of Minor Archery for 15% more damage, and I just randomly enchanted this with conjuration spells, cost 8% less. And then I have the Shrouded Cowl from the Assassins, the Dark Brotherhood. Bows do 20% more damage. You get that just by doing the initial Dark Brotherhood quests. If you're trying to do all the quests, do Delayed Burial first. That one is right near Whiterun when you meet Cicero. You don't really get much from it. He gives you some leveled gold, so I think when I did it I get like 500 or 700 gold, something like that. So it wasn't super significant, but I like to be a completionist. So altogether I get plus 55% bow damage, and then I have the 6 perks, I get perks for level 60 archery, rather. So I get the bow damage there, and then the potions I'm making for marksman can do an extra 28% if I need to. So what I normally do is I come in a shop, I switch to my pricing gear, and then I do some buying, selling stuff. I need to lighten my load here for when I'm about to do my next quest. And you see these items are worth more because I had enchanted them, leveling my enchanting. What else do I want to sell? He doesn't have the money to buy my stuff. So what you can do is you can buy stuff that you would use for something else, like soul gems or hides, and these items like Horker Tusk and glass and stuff. I'm building my Falkreath home with the Hearthfire add-on. You can build your own home. So some of those items. And then you can go back into this interface and sell them some more stuff. Just making space to pick up loot from the next quests I do. Some things you'll notice are selling for gold when they normally wouldn't. That's just because of my high speech and plus pricing stuff. Eventually, even things that sell for 0 gold will sell for 1 or 2 gold. So, just get those out of my inventory, and I think that's most of the junk. I have all these soul gems. And the Welkin stones completely restore magicka. Those are from a recent Creation Club add-on that I believe costs $1. I think it costs $1. So just real quick, I'm gonna go to my Falkreath home, dump off the extra stuff, might do a little construction, just show you what that's like. And then in my next video, I'll actually do a run-through of 1 or 2 dungeons to show how the character actually plays. I don't have my stuff there. I've built all the outward things. You come to this drafting table here. And normally when you're first starting there would be, you can add wings of your house. I've done that, and so this only has where you can remove the workbenches. The workbenches are inside for building all your furniture, and then you would come over to the carpenter's workbench and you could build the different pieces of your wings. And there's an anvil here. Oh, you can, one reason I get my Falkreath home pretty early is because you can start planting stuff and you can get a good supply of either money-making ingredients, the dragon's tongue, fly, amanita, and if I can click on that, it's very annoying. The dragon's tongue, fly, amanita, and the mora tampanella, those are for money-making. And then the canis root and juniper berries are for marksman potions. The canis root can also be used in paralysis if you have more of one than the other. And then you can actually plant a ton more plants in your greenhouse. So those are the first 2 things I usually make for the house, are greenhouse and garden. I'm still working on this house. And you do not need to do this at all to quickly level alchemy. There are some really good alchemy places if you know where to look in the world. Solitude has hanging moss, that's a valuable one. Blue mountain flowers are pretty plentiful around Solitude and Whiterun in the Skyrim Special Edition. And lavender's pretty plentiful around Whiterun as well. So I just harvested a bunch of stuff there. And then you can go to these workbenches to create stuff inside your house. So, and I'm not going to have some of the more exotic ingredients for some of these things. Like, for example, large antlers. You need a ton of large antlers for the different wall mountings, and you don't find them a super lot of them. And then you need to kill a lot of the mud crabs for those mountings. But I can make an alchemy lab. I don't have one, so just to show you how to do that, you can go to any anvil. I think I have one in here. No, I haven't built one in here yet. Well, just for convenience, I need 4 iron ingots. I know I have that. So I put most of my extra stuff there, and then I just come over here and then you can craft stuff like that. Slaughterfish scales are another animal ingredient you need a lot of for more of the mountings. This is just for completion's sake, though. It doesn't really do anything. You go under building materials and you can make more nails and iron fittings and hinges and stuff like that. I'm not going to mess around with doing that right now. I'm just going to dump off my stuff and then I'll be ready to do my next quest. And these you can actually safely store your stuff. But the crafting stuff, all my gems and hides and clay, usually put them in one chest and then I put my ingredients in another. The Dwemer cogs I save for, you need 10 for a quest. So I'm just randomly saving those. Goat hide you need, goat horns you need. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. So there's no gameplay here of how this build works yet. I'm going to do that in my next video. I just wanted to go through like the basics of, you know, how I prepare. So getting my Falk Wreath home was my first order of business and my pricing gear. My better price gear. You can get a bound bow early on from Fort Amal. It's in the southeastern part of the map. It's down by Iverstead. So that's all for now. Just check out my next video to see how the build actually works. It's pretty fun. My plan for what stuff I'm going to take in the future are things like I'm going to take up to, this is real endgame, but I'm going to take up to quiet casting so I can cast my spells from stealth, not have to worry about summons or bound bow causing issues. I'm going to take up to Necromage for Vampire, and I might even take some of the perks like Apprentice and Adept for better healing spells. Let's see. I'm going to get all the enchanting perks. Smithing up to Dragon armor. This is a real luxury, but perhaps the extra pockets for more carry on the pickpocket tree. Now with enchanted items, your destruction things like augmented flames, augmented shock, etc. do work on your enchantments. So I'm probably, those are pretty much luxury items. You don't really need them, but they're nice to have. So in the real late game, I might take those too. For enchantments on my final bow, I'm probably going to have Frost because it slows down enemies, and that's handy. It makes it harder for them to get to you. And Chaos damage, which has a chance to do Fire, Frost, or Shock. And that means that it stacks with all of the destruction perks here, and with the enchanting perks. So you can get pretty strong enchantments that way. Really broken enchantments. So yeah, that's about it. And like I already mentioned, getting Power Shot unhindered in light armor to carry more is kind of nice too. But at level 24, I have most of what I need, and with the gear that I have now, and it's found gear, not even enchanted gear. I mean, I enchanted my body piece with 0 perks, and it does something. But I mean, you can find pretty good gear just from quests. The real end game gear is enchanted gear though. But at level 24, I'm one-shotting, you know, a good chunk of things. And the things that I don't one-shot, you can back up and go back into stealth and do more sneak attacks, or you can do a couple of shots from stealth, and when you're discovered, you can summon an Atronach and have that tank for you, and then you can shoot them from a distance. So it works pretty well. I call it an Arcane Archer. There's lots of ways of building an Arcane Archer, but This is mine. Most of the time it plays like not a ton differently than a stealth archer, but you have a lot more flexibility. And on legendary, you're not going to one-shot things all the time, and even with really good gear. So maybe on real late endgame you are, but it helps to have those tanky summons. So anyway, in the interest of not making a super long intro video, I'm going to call it for now, and I'll just pick up in the next video. Okay. Thanks for checking it out. Bye.